Have you ever witnessed justice strike back with a twist you'd never expect? White woman calls cop on black girl, speechless in court when she reveals her CIA badge. A crisp autumn breeze swept through Ridgewood Park as Ebony Johnson quietly sipped her coffee, unaware her life was about to turn into a national spectacle. A casual afternoon break turned chaotic when a sharp-tongued woman decided Ebony, simply minding her own business, didn't belong there. Accusations flew, police were called, a heated confrontation arrived, revealing the ugly face of everyday racism. Little did that woman know, the calm and composed Ebony had a powerful secret that would not only turn the courtroom upside down, but bring devastating consequences for her accuser. Brace yourself, this story is about to expose the truth and serve up karmic justice from dark stories. Ridgewood Park, just outside downtown Atlanta, was known for its gentle slopes, manicured lawns, and the old oak trees that provided dappled shade on warm afternoons. Families came here with their children to play on the swings, joggers took advantage of the scenic trails, and college students stretched out on blankets to study. On this particular day, Ebony Johnson, a 26-year-old graduate of Georgetown University, sat by herself at a sturdy wooden picnic table near the newly built playground. She was dressed in simple workout gear, black leggings, a gray sweatshirt, and sipped a latte from the nearby Starbucks on Peachtree Street. She'd come here to enjoy some fresh air and to de-stress from a hectic few weeks. The sunlight glinted off her small silver earrings as she pulled out a notebook. She liked to journal her thoughts, writing had always been her way of staying grounded. Ebony felt a small pang of homesickness for Washington, D.C., where she'd spent her college years. She remembered the hustle and bustle of the city, the monuments lit up at night, and the vibrant neighborhoods that felt like home, but her work had brought her to Atlanta, and she was determined to make the best of it. She was so engrossed in writing that she almost didn't notice a woman standing a few feet away. The woman had short, perfectly coiffed blonde hair, wore a pastel sweater draped over her shoulders, and clutched her designer handbag. Her expression was a mix of fear and indignation. Ebony looked up and gave her a polite smile, but the woman's scowl only deepened. "Can I help you with something?" Ebony asked, unsure if the woman needed directions or help. Sometimes, Ebony recalled, strangers approached her for small talk or to ask about the local area. Perhaps this was just a confused tourist. The woman's gaze raked over Ebony. "I'm Linda Farnsworth," she said curtly. "Are you supposed to be here?" Ebony blinked. "Excuse me." She placed her notebook down. "It's a public park, ma'am, I come here often." Linda's lips pinched. "Well, you don't look like you're from around here." "I was just making sure everything is in order." The saccharine note in her voice couldn't hide the underlying hostility. Ebony felt her heart tighten in annoyance. She had seen this kind of behavior before, sometimes subtle, sometimes overt. A part of her wanted to roll her eyes and walk away, but another part told her to remain calm. She closed her notebook gently and inhaled, centering herself before responding. "Yes, I'm allowed to be here, everyone is." Linda pursed her lips again, looking around as if searching for a park official or some sign that Ebony was breaking the rules. "I just find it suspicious, you sitting here with that big bag. We've had issues with certain people causing trouble. If you don't mind, I'd like to see some identification." Ebony suppressed a disbelieving laugh. "Identification? That's not necessary. I'm just an ordinary citizen like you, enjoying my day." She deliberately kept her tone even, though irritation was creeping into her veins. Linda's voice sharpened. "Listen, young lady, I have every right to be concerned about suspicious activity. I know the local authorities personally. This is a very safe neighborhood, and we like to keep it that way." Ebony glanced around. A few other park visitors had started to notice the tension. She saw a mother pulling her child closer, uncertain whether she should intervene or walk away. Ebony sighed, realizing this was about to turn into one of those moments she'd read about on social media, where someone assumed a black person was up to no good just for existing in his space. Staying cool, Ebony grabbed her latte. "Well, if you feel unsafe, you're free to leave." Linda's cheeks reddened. "How dare you speak to me like that?" A swirl of emotion coursed through Ebony: anger, exhaustion, the heaviness that comes from dealing with bias, but Ebony remained calm. She stood up slowly, adjusting her sweatshirt and said, "I'm not causing you any trouble, please let me enjoy my day in peace." Linda's eyes narrowed. "We'll see what the authorities have to say." Her trembling hand reached inside her handbag, and she pulled out her cell phone. Right away, she began dialing. Ebony felt a tremor of frustration coursing through her. It was happening again, the same old storyline, a concerned person deciding that her presence was grounds for calling the police. Ebony knew this could escalate if she didn't remain composed, yet she refused to shrink away. "Yes, hello," Linda spoke into her phone, stepping a few paces away. "I'm at Ridgewood Park, there's a suspicious person here, won't show ID, could be a threat." The worst part wasn't even the phone call itself, it was the calm conviction in Linda's voice, the sense of entitlement. Ebony ground her teeth in frustration, reminding herself that she needed to handle this with dignity, and so she waited, heart pounding but resolve solid. The police were on their way, that much was certain. The day that was supposed to be a peaceful break was now morphing into Ebony's worst nightmare. Little did Linda know that Ebony was far from an easy target. She had resources, allies, and something in her back pocket that would stun them all. Wait for it, this courtroom showdown will leave you speechless. As Linda stood off to the side waiting for the police to pick up her call, Ebony's mind raced. She had spent the last 2 years working undercover for the Central Intelligence Agency, assigned to a specialized track focusing on domestic and international threats. Fresh out of Georgetown School of Foreign Service, Ebony had been recruited for her analytical brilliance and an uncanny ability to diffuse tense situations. Yet, at this moment, ironically, Ebony felt powerless in the face of Linda's brazen attempt to keep the neighborhood safe. She could, of course, flash her CIA credentials right then and there, but Ebony was off duty, and publicly brandishing her badge was not only against policy, it could compromise her operational safety. Usually, only law enforcement had reason to show ID in public settings, and Ebony had strict instructions never to reveal her status unless absolutely necessary. Still, Ebony couldn't quell the burning anger inside. Was this truly the same America where she was proud to serve her country, the same place where she risked her own comfort to protect national security? The hatred and bigotry Linda displayed was nothing new, but each incident cut deeper. Ebony's father, a veteran of the U.S. Marine Corps, had warned her that the world wasn't always fair, and that wearing the CIA badge wouldn't immunize her from prejudice. He was painfully correct. Meanwhile, Linda rambled on the phone, describing Ebony with exaggerated claims. "She's acting aggressive," Linda said. "I feel threatened." Ebony could hear Linda's voice tremble with a practiced fear. Ebony rolled her eyes. She was still standing a good 10 feet away, arms at her side, making no move to approach Linda. A wave of helpless fury coursed through her, but she held herself in check. As Linda continued weaving her story to the 911 operator, Ebony noticed a tall, lanky teenager with curly hair and a skateboard under his arm approaching them. He had been sitting on a bench nearby and had witnessed the incident from the start. The boy's face was etched with concern. "Hey, is everything okay?" he asked Ebony in a low voice. Ebony looked at him, grateful for the human connection. "I'm fine, she's calling the cops because she thinks I'm suspicious. It's all a big misunderstanding." The teen frowned. "That's messed up." He shot Linda a glare, but Linda was too absorbed in her phone call to notice. "Do you want me to stay with you, just so there's a witness?" Ebony managed a small, appreciative smile. "Thanks, that might help." He nodded, stepping aside but staying close enough to observe. Ebony was touched by his willingness to help a stranger. Perhaps it was the younger generation's sense of justice, or maybe he had been in a similar situation before. Either way, Ebony felt a sense of solidarity. Linda finished her call and snapped her phone shut. She moved back toward Ebony, her expression triumphant. "They're on their way," she said, arms crossed over her chest. "You're in trouble now." Ebony took a steadying breath. She mentally recited a mantra: stay calm, stay kind, stay composed. She'd learned that in her CIA conflict negotiation training. She refused to stoop to Linda's level of hostility. "Ma'am," she said softly, "I've done nothing wrong." Linda let out a laugh of disbelief. "Oh please, the fact you're refusing to show identification is all the proof I need." People like you are always up to no good. Don't think I don't see the news.